to my channel. We are on our way to pick up our marriage certificate. It's been a little over a month since we got married. They told us it would be ready at 2 weeks, which we were going to go, and then we just kept postponing it. So we're finally gonna go tomorrow, I mean today, and we're excited. It's not official until we have that marriage certificate. Are you excited to see your last name, baby, on my name? After I have this certificate, I can go ahead and start with changing my last name legally with everything that I need to go for. So like social security, DMV. I just don't know how soon I'm gonna go because I got my passport like 2 years ago and it's valid for 10 years, and I would have to renew that and pay the full price if I do change my last name. So I'm kind of like thinking if I should hold it off, because regardless I'm a Hernandez already, even if it's not legally changed yet, right baby?
Yes.
Maybe I'll never change it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're on our way to do that, and then we're gonna go eat after, and then I'll be answering some of the questions that you guys had regarding the wedding. Hopefully I could fit everything into this one video. So yeah, just enjoy the rest of this vlog. Official, we picked up our marriage certificate. Woo! Alex got scared because it says current and then it has Judith Garcia, and on the bottom it's where it has new name, so it has me as Hernandez. But he was all sad,
Super sad. I was like, no, how much longer?
We're gonna go eat. We're gonna go eat already, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go eat some OG. Starving. It's already gonna be noon, and we haven't ate, so.
Celebratory.
Celebrate again. We celebrated when we went to get our marriage license. Celebrated when we got married, and now we're celebrating for picking up our certificate. We gotta celebrate every step of the way. The little things matter. Beautiful. Isn't it so cute that our efficient, bless you, her last name was Hernandez as well. I'll be giving her the details too, because people were asking who married us. We found her on Google and she was amazing. She actually looked like she was wanting to shed a tear at our wedding. I was like, we got to her. Our love got to her. Okay. Okay, see y'all in a bit. Back home now. I was waiting for the food to come down a little bit because I was really stuffed after Olive Garden, and then we did go run some errands as well. I had some packages that I had to return, and now we're here. I'm gonna be looking sideways because I have my iPad over here. I wrote down all the questions that you guys had asked me, pretty much all the details on the wedding. So let's get started before I ramble on. First question is, how did you start planning your wedding so fast, and what was your first 5 things to plan? Love it, see. The reason why I started planning, how I started planning it so fast, was because I kind of had an idea already. We had already talked about it for maybe about a month. We were already debating if we were going to get married, because the day we got married is our anniversary from when Alex asked me to be his girlfriend officially. So we really wanted that date because it was just a very special date for us, and it was gonna land on a Friday. We were already kind of talking about it. We were like yes, no, and that last week we obviously had no more time to wait, so we just had to decide, okay, it's gonna be a yes or it's gonna be no. It was gonna be a small wedding. That's the only way it was possible. I feel like also I would have not been able to do it without my family, because they did help us a lot. So the first things that we started planning, I started shopping for my dresses first. This was, I think, maybe a few days before the week was up, and that was just because I ordered a few dresses from Shein. Shein does take over a week for it to deliver here, so I did it just in case we did happen to get married. Thing was that I ordered a bunch of cute little court wedding dresses, more just kind of casual for the court wedding. The plan was to just go to the court and get married there at the court, have whoever could join us that day on Friday, let in as many people as they would allow us, and then we would go to dinner after. That's what we hoped for. Unfortunately, we went to go get the license, which was the second thing that we did. So the first one was I started looking for dresses. I put in an order for what I thought was gonna be a court wedding. We went to go get the license, and they told me that in Kern County they don't do court weddings. They, I believe, stopped doing them back in 2008. So if you want to get your license in Kern County, if you're in the area, you do have to go apply for your license, and then you have to find someone to marry you outside of the court. So you have to hire an officiant. You can make a family member marry you. They just have to get their certificate for being an officiant, something like that. So because we went to get our license and they told us that, we're like, okay, well, we can't do the court wedding. We're gonna have to hire an officiant, so might as well make it a small little ceremony. And that's when we just decided to move forward with the little ceremony that we had. So that's the third thing we did. We told the family. Then the fourth thing we did was decide on the food, what we were gonna serve. Oh, and venue. So the venue, we weren't sure it was gonna be available, and we actually got it through my sister-in-law's friend. And so we decided on the food. We asked, Alex's mom makes really bomb food, so she knows how to make birria, and we had her do the birria. And then the fifth thing we did was hire the officiant, which I had on the day that we got the license. I started like Googling, and I started searching up officiants near Bakersfield. So if you're not in Bakersfield, I'm gonna provide the officiant that married us. I know she does travel, I don't know how far though, but you could just get on Google and put officiants near me, and some websites should pop up, or some local chapels will pop up, and you could arrange like an appointment or something. That's what I did with Miros. Her name is Miros. I set up an appointment, and then I liked her, and we paid her, and we're like, okay, like, well, we gave her the deposit and we hired her. So that was the fifth thing that we did. Next question, why did you guys decide to get married sooner? So I kind of just explained that already. We really wanted to get married on our anniversary date. The way it landed this year was gonna be perfect for us. We also didn't want to wait any longer. We felt like if we didn't do it this year, we were just gonna hold it off for maybe another 2-3 years, and that would be till we were able to throw the big wedding. So we just didn't want to wait that much longer to get married. We wanted to get married like already, be just official. Well, a lot of people were like, are you pregnant? Are you trying to just, you know, cover it up, get married soon? I was like, no, I'm already living with my partner. I wouldn't care like if I were to get pregnant. But no, I'm not pregnant. We just wanted to get married. I feel like, I don't know why it's hard for people to understand that we literally we wanted to be married already. We got engaged a year ago. We've been together for 4 years, over 4 years now, and we just wanted to make it legalized. We just wanted to make it legal and get married. So next one, can you tell me the process of getting your marriage license and also the leave? For the marriage license here in Kern County, you just have to go to your county's courthouse, fill out the marriage license paperwork. You do have to pay a fee. I think here it was like $101. I know it might be different in different counties. And if you do plan to get married somewhere else, you could still just get your marriage license in your county and then travel to wherever in the US. You have to confirm. I know like in the state you can still get married like in another county, but just confirm with your county first before you do that. I know to go out of the country it requires a whole other like process. So a lot of people, what they do is they just get their marriage license here in their county, in their state, and they'll get married. They'll do their marriage through the court, and then they'll just pretty much have their celebration out of the country, because I don't know the process for it, but I know it's more things that you have to go through to get married out of the country. So yeah, you fill out your marriage license. You both need your ID, you and your partner. I would suggest to take your birth certificate. I didn't take mine. My husband took his, and I didn't take mine because it says that it's not necessary, but then they ended up asking me if my mom's maiden name or her marriage last name was on the on my birth certificate, and I didn't know, so I did have to call my mom for that. It could possibly void the license if they're not correct. We did the application on the computer, and then they called us up to verify everything. They had us do an oath, then we signed it. They went over everything that we needed to know. For example, that we needed to get an officiant. The officiant had 10 days to turn in. If they don't turn in your marriage license, you are pretty much not married. So make sure whoever's in charge of that turns it in before the 10 days are up. I got married Friday, so my officiant had told me she would turn it in Monday, so I texted her on Tuesday to make sure that she had turned it in, and she had confirmed that she did. Just get someone responsible, especially if you're gonna go on a honeymoon right away. You need someone to turn it in for you. You will need someone who's an officiant, certified as an officiant, to sign, and then you need 2 witnesses. For me, I used my sister, and Alex used his brother. I don't think there's like an age limit as long as they're able to sign their name. That's what I heard. But you have to be very careful to make sure that the names are in the lines provided, because if you go out of the line, they will void it and you will have to pay for another one. So be careful with that. That's how they explained it to me. So you go apply for the license, which is 101 in our county, $101. You do the signing, they give you the license, and then they give you a prop certificate for you to sign the day of your wedding, which is not the real one, just to have for memory and for you to have something to sign that day. Turn in the license, and for us, they told us that our certificate would be ready to pick up within 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we waited till today, a whole month later. Also, a tip that I have for you guys, make sure you know if you're gonna change your last name to your significant other's last name. Talk about it before, that way you're not just there wasting time. Decide if you're gonna keep your last name and then add theirs hyphenated, or keep yours as your middle name, have theirs as their last name. There's options. Just make sure you figure that out. If you don't change your last name in that license, you will have to go through I think you have to apply for a different license, and it's not part of the marriage one. So just make sure that if you do want to do that, it'll be easier this way. You just sign it on that one, and if you don't do it, then you're gonna have to go a different route. The rest are just all the things that I used. I'm gonna be providing Instagrams or whatever I can, Amazon, whatever I can provide for you guys, I'm gonna provide it for you guys on here. Links will be in the description box. Let's start with the venue. The venue was actually through, I think I mentioned it actually, it was through my sister-in-law's friend. I know she tries to rent it out more to close friends and family. I can ask her if she'd be open to taking anyone interested. You can send me a DM if you would be interested. It's in Bakersfield. If you saw my vlog and you love the wedding and you're here, you can send me a DM, and then I can of course message her to see if she can get back to you guys. I'll give them your information and she can reach out to you, and it could be up to her to see if she wants to rent it out. I know she has a flat fee for weddings of $1,000 if you have 50 people and up, I believe. For us, we just had a fee of $60 per hour. It was a small intimate wedding. I think we had maybe like a total of 38 guests, so it was smaller, and it was through a family friend, so we got that deal. It was actually not expensive at all, thank God. Photographer, I found her on Instagram. I had asked a bunch of people to just send me people's pages, so I went through all of them. I DM'd everyone just to get prices. The dress is what everyone was asking me for. So my dress was actually from Fashion Nova. I know I mentioned earlier that I had placed a order from Shein, so I had a bunch of dresses from Shein, and like I had mentioned, they were all for more like court wedding style, which I didn't think was appropriate for the ceremony that we were gonna have. I felt like because we were gonna have a ceremony with the family and a yard, I wanted more of, you know, a long dress. And because this was decided a week before, I couldn't order something else from Shein because I would have risked it not getting here. I didn't want to go to a bridal store because I knew I was gonna end up spending a lot more money. I didn't want to go fall in love with a dress that was like the perfect fit and it cost over $1,000. I know me. I me gusta lo caro, okay? Like, not on purpose, but it happened with my quinceañera. I ended up walking out with a wedding dress, and if you look back at it, it doesn't look so much as a wedding dress, but it was a dress, and I think at that time it cost like 900 and something. Thank you to my parents. Actually, I think my grandma was the madrina del vestido. She loves me. She was willing to pay that much. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be over $1,000. I knew I would fall in love with a dress that was gonna cost a lot of money, and I didn't want to go try on a dress, fall in love with it, and be disappointed because I would have to be like, I can't, it's too expensive. So I went with Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova actually has some cute wedding dresses. I ordered a few from there as well, and I ended up choosing the one that I felt like I liked more. I'll show the picture of the one that I had in mind here. I just didn't like the neck part sit really up here, so I felt like suffocating. Other than that, it was cute, but I think that one did have more of a, it showed more of the back, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. The one I went with, I'll show a picture of it, how it looks on Fashion Nova with the model. And I don't remember how much it cost, but it was buy one get one half off. I'll go ahead and link it if it's still on their website. I thought it was very beautiful. It was simple but cute and not expensive at all. Wedding bands were from Etsy. Here's mine. It's a flat wedding band. It's really cute, just simple. I just wanted something simple because I feel like my ring is just a lot, so I wanted something just simple to be able to wear. I don't like wearing my ring all the time either because it's just bulky, so I wanted to have something that I could just wear like this and not be too flashy, you know. So I got it from Etsy. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of it right here. I'll link it as well, the seller, in the description box. And I got Alex's wedding band from Etsy as well. They are both 14K. Bouquet, my bouquet was from Costco the day of the wedding, as you guys saw in the wedding vlog. I ended up getting the bouquet the day of because I was just in a rush and it was super last minute, and I had gone to Hobby Lobby and I tried to put a bunch of fake flowers together, and it just, some of them like cute, but to me it was just like not cute enough. I wanted something just more natural, just real flowers. So the day of, I called my sister. Fortunately, she was able to get two separate bouquets for me. One had more greens on it and the other one was more like just white flowers or roses. I don't even remember anymore. I'll put a picture of it on here, but I just combined them. I bought white ribbon from Hobby Lobby the day before, and then I just put them together. I tied them together, and that was my bouquet for the wedding. It came out really, really pretty. My veil, a lot of y'all were requesting the veil. I got it from Amazon for only $21.99. Yep, you heard it. I saved a lot of money, okay? This last minute wedding made me just get the first things that I found. So I feel like I saved money versus waiting and having a lot of time to plan, you know. So I'll link it as well, but it was $21.99. Amazon. My makeup and hair was done by Makeup by Teresa. I'll put her Instagram on here. I shared it in my last video. Alex's tux was also from Amazon. I was very scared on that one because I kept telling him all week, you need to start looking for a tuxedo, and he was like, what am I gonna wear? Normally I help him out and I'm like, I can't be there, I can't see your tux, like I should be seeing you the day of, like not before that. So he got his from Amazon, and he did have to go get it fitted, and we expected it. We didn't think it was going to fit perfect, but they did a good job. I'll link that one as well. I think it came out to like a total of $80 because it was like 70 something. And then to get it tailored, I think he spent another 30-40, so it came out to like 1 something. Decor, tablecloths, I bought them myself. I was gonna rent them, but I saw that it was literally, it cost the same to buy them versus renting, so I just ended up buying them on Amazon. One thing I do recommend, because I didn't have time for this and I didn't even think about it, is to take a steamer if you're gonna buy them and have someone steam them out, because mine's, you could see all the folded lines on there and it did not look cute, but I didn't care. We didn't have time. I was like, que caiga como caiga. To me, it was just like, however it turns out, it turns out. There was no time to be perfect. So yeah, tablecloths were from Amazon. Candles were the battery operated ones. I didn't want any real candles would have been cheaper, but the day before it was windy, so thank God I didn't do real candles, and it was a little bit windy the day of too. I didn't want to have to deal with turning them all on, and then also I thought it was just a fire hazard to have candles where there's like a bunch of grass, so I went with battery candles, which were perfect. Again, I got them from Amazon, and what was cool was that each box comes with 2 remotes, but if you're gonna get them all to use together, you only need one of them. Thankfully, one remote operates all of them, so all I had to do, well, I don't even know who did it that day, but we just made sure to turn on the switch. We had to just switch it on, all of them, once we put in the batteries, and then with the remote we turned them off. And then when the time came where it was getting darker, whoever went around went with the remote and started turning them on. I think they turned on in like a set of 3-4. You just have to go around, and then until they all turn on, which was super easy. I loved the candles. They were really cute. So the eucalyptus, the leaves, this I probably saved a good $200-300 because I had gone to look at them at Hobby Lobby, and I think I was looking at about $200-300 that I was going to spend to get the amount that I wanted for the tables. I thankfully have my brother-in-law's wife who has a best friend who has a big, huge eucalyptus tree. If I can, I'll show you guys a video on here. She has sent me a video. She's like, look, she has the leaves, don't buy any, you'll save a lot of money. So thankfully the Christina went the day before. She picked them up, she put them in a bag, and then we laid them out, and we just because a lot of them were, you know, more loose, so we tied them up with zip ties so they wouldn't fall off the table. So I would suggest, before you buy any, if you need them, they're at Hobby Lobby. They have like the long strips of them, but ask around to see if anyone knows anyone that has a eucalyptus tree, because that will save you a lot of money. She brought me a bunch of strands. You guys saw, if you saw my videos, you saw that we were putting them up in the gazebo, and we had a bunch. Tables and chairs, we rented them. Facebook Marketplace will be your best friend. I highly recommend you use Instagram and Facebook Marketplace and ask around. Don't just settle with the first person that gives you a price, because I guarantee you will find someone who will give you a better price. For the tables and chairs, I did find someone on Instagram. I'll put a list at the end of how much everything cost and the total, so you guys could see how much was spent in this small intimate wedding. But we did save a lot of money because some of the things we didn't have to pay for, and I'll mention those right now. But for example, the eucalyptus, but the tables and chairs we rented, found them on Instagram. I'll put their info on here if you guys need it in Bakersfield. The flower wall, I had found someone on Instagram, and the price that they were giving me, I think it was like $400 just to rent it. Thankfully, I think they had a cutoff time where they would have to pick it up at 10 p.m. and I wasn't okay with that, because I didn't want to be in the middle of my party, which it wasn't going to end till like midnight, so I didn't want to be there and them already picking up, you know, the wall that was going to be behind my table. So I didn't end up going forward with them, but I did went to a Facebook Marketplace, and there was a few that had popped up, and I actually found someone that was cheaper. The girl that I found charged me $200 for the whole day. She was able to pick it up till the next morning. I had found someone cheaper. I think she was charging me $150, but she didn't have the LED sign, the Mr. and Mrs. sign that I wanted. So I went with the one that had it, which was a little bit more, but it was $200. I think I found the sign from someone else, and they would rent it to me for like $70. So it just made sense to go with the one that was charging me $200, and it was including the sign. I was able to get I think they're called the marquise letters. I'll show them on here, the ones that had A and J, which was our initials. I found them, again, Instagram. They were trying to charge me, I think, like $60 per letter. Facebook Marketplace, I found it for $35 per letter, so it was like $105 because I only got 3. It does get a lot pricier if you're trying to do like a full name or a full last name, or a Mr. and Mrs. and then a full last name. So it's up to you, it's up to your budget. I just went with A and J. I thought it was perfect, and it was $35 per hour. So someone asked about the DJ. We had no DJ. That night we're just on our phone just choosing music. Alex's dad actually is a músico, so he had offered to play for us, but we told him that we wanted him to be there to enjoy the wedding, not to be playing for us. So we told him if he could find someone for us that wouldn't charge too much to play for us, that would be perfect. Unfortunately, he didn't find anyone, but he did bring us his equipment. So we had his speakers, we had his microphone, so that was a huge help at the end of the night. So there was times where he would go, and he was the one that would look for the music for, like, say, our first dance, for the father-daughter dance. He played a few of the songs throughout the night, and then towards the end of the night we kind of switched it up to English music. So then I think someone just hooked up their phone and they were just choosing. We're kind of just asking everyone, like, oh, what song do you want? And that was it. It was perfect. Honestly, I would of course suggest a DJ, just so you don't have to worry about the music. It was kind of like at moments like, oh, what do we put next? But we had a great time. But of course I would have loved for us to not have to worry about that. But at the end of the day, it turned out perfect. For the officiant, I'll put their info in here. You could just Google Bakersfield officiant. I think it's under Enlace Chapel or something like that. But again, I'll put the information on here, and I'll put the link in the description box. The one that married me was Miros. I don't know, I think she's the only one from this one, but if there isn't, just make sure you ask for Miros. She's bilingual, if you want someone bilingual. If you saw my wedding vlog, you saw that she was doing both English and Spanish, which was perfect for our audience. Oh, let's talk about the prices. I don't even know the total. I was gonna calculate it, so I'm gonna have to just show it on here once I'm editing it. I'll show you guys a screenshot of pretty much the cost of everything that we spent on, so you could get an idea of what this intimate wedding cost us. The food, Alex's mom made it for us, and thankfully she actually ended up being la madrina, I guess, of the food. She didn't want us to pay for it. We had called her, we had told her, like, we'll go with you to the store to go get everything, and she had said no, she was gonna take care of it, that she wanted to gift us that. So that was a huge saver. That was that saved us a lot of money too. Again, it wasn't for a lot of people as well. It's just for a party of 40 people. But I think she did try to estimate for about 50, just so there'd be a little bit extra. And there ended up being extra food because thankfully she helped me with the birria. My mom did the beans and the salsa. My Christina, my brother-in-law's wife, she did the rice. She brought me the sweets, actually, for the cake with the treats, and they were actually really good. It was like Rice Krispies dipped. They were all white, and like Oreo cookies dipped, all white, and they were pretty bomb. But she, thankfully, her and my brother-in-law gifted us the treats as well for the table. The cake, I didn't mention the cake. The cake was done by one of the girls that always has done my birthday cakes. Whenever I request one for a family member, I normally go to her. I'll put her Instagram as well, so you can like look through in Bakersfield if you guys are interested. So yeah, you'll see on here pretty much what the amount that we spent. It wasn't, I don't feel like it was too much, honestly, for the amount of people. We could have probably saved about $400 if we would have done it at home, which we did plan on doing it if the venue wasn't going to be available. I hope I didn't forget to mention anything. But like I said, everything will be linked in the description box. Again, if I forgot something, just go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll hopefully try to respond it. that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I do still need to do that video where I show you, I'll give you guys a little runway of the dresses that I bought from Shein, but I'll do that on another video. And for real this time, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Love y'all. Besos.